live on the NACE floor with one of my favorite people in the industry. I've got Dan Bailey from CARSTAR with me today. Thank you for stopping by. I know you are just slammed up with the show.
Glad to be here.
It's
been going good. I love this show. I mean, the size of it, everybody seems real personable and friendly this year, and I've talked to some vendors, and they said everybody's here is here to buy. The buyers are here. They've had a really good show, and it's the size I like.
Right. I was just talking to Chief a minute ago, and they said they'd already sold like 16 of their Easy Lift systems, and I was like,
yeah, I know.
Wow, it's hard to imagine.
So I think it's a good show. I hope the economics, for ASA and NACE and everything works out. I don't know about that, because you got to have X number of attendees to got to cover that overhead.
Right.
But I hope I like this size. I really do.
I've noticed that it seems you have more of a concentrated customer base, that the people that are in the booths are there for purpose and not just maybe picking up what's been put out for free gifts this year.
And that's what I hear.
Yeah. Yep. And it's been great, because there's not a lot of. It's been great to find people. You can mingle on the floor better than you ever have been here in the past.
Yeah, you can find somebody this year on the floor. They say they're in the expo. You can actually find them.
Oh, that's great. Well, I've been chasing you around for like a couple months trying to find some time to sit down. I think I drove Bill to the hospital.
You did.
Trying to find time for you guys. And I'd ask you what's new, but something's always new for you. You've always got something in the works. So what's going on at CARSTAR right now?
Well, we're just, we're trying to grow, and we've been adding 3 or 4 stores a month in the U.S., and Canada's been doing very well this year. Have had a good year. But our stores have had a good 2010. I mean, on same-store sales. I mean, we're up a little bit versus last year. We was down a little bit. And we're making a difference for our franchisees, to where it's this is a very complicated business. It really is. It's tough business, and our big thing right now is technology, to get all of our stores on the same single IT connectivity between our stores and CARSTAR corporate, because data today is king. You have to have data, and we want all the KPIs that we should be measuring on every store, every repair order, every day. And then we've got that to work with the vendors, work with the insurance partners, because let me tell you, nobody runs a store like an owner, and I think you know that.
Right,
and the CARSTAR franchise model, the majority of the stores are run by an owner. And our performance, that we are able to measure, we think we beat, our competition. And we need to prove that. Well, that's the big thing in 2011 that we're rolling out. It's called the CARSTAR Solution. It's powered by Mitchell, but it will be in every one of our stores by the end of 2011, so that we have that live data every day, so we can take that performance to our vendors and show them, what we're buying, what our buying habits are. It'll help purchasing, and then, take our cycle time, our CSI, the parts to labor ratio, all that, take it to the insurance partners so they can see how we're performing. So that's number one without any doubt.
Right, so that's going to give you your estimating, your shop management systems all in one place?
All in one place.
That's great. So at any given moment, you're going to be able to see how every star, and I like to say the CARSTAR Nation, I love that. I like to share that.
CARSTAR Nation.
You're going to be able to see how that's kind of performing and tracking.
But we'll be able to break it down by state. We'll be able to break it down by business group or any cluster of stores, or we can look at regional service managers. We have regional service managers in the field that, they report to Stacy. I know you know Stacy very well. And she manages them, and we'll be able to, it'll help us in tracking even our own employees' performance, because, like if I had 25 stores and you had 25 stores, well, now we've got comparable data, live data, to where, am I coaching the stores as good as I could be? And most people in this industry, if somebody else is doing it, you think you can do it too. So this will help improve the performance of our own employees too.
One of the things I think is great about what you guys do is those regional managers that kind of work with the shops, is that there's almost service after the sale, so to speak. So after you choose to be a franchisee with CARSTAR, if you pass and it all goes through, is that there's continued support to keep rising you to the next level and improving your business?
It's a service model we actually have. It's called the Edge, but it's 3 tiers of 3 levels of service that actually takes you from, tier 1 we feel is really everything that's necessary to be a good, successful collision repair store. And then tier 3 is what we call the CARSTAR Lean. And it's a very step-by-step process that you know, I'm telling you, you can't just go to a seminar today and go into your store tomorrow and change the lean. So we've developed a step-by-step process. It takes about 2 years to get there, but see, we don't want to, for a store to have to go backwards to go forward. You know, we'd like to maintain where it is, because like I said, this is a tough business, and we've got a process that we've built step by step that works. And you know, these regional service managers are coaches. You know, you can look at the best basketball, golf, football, baseball players in the world. They've got coaches.
Yeah, Tiger has a swing coach
too,
right?
I mean, and so our stores need coaches. It's always good to have them eyes from outside, you know, to take a look. And you know, and we usually, what we try to do is we identify, you know, some action items on every store visit. And you know, there may be 10 things that needs to be done. Well, we don't try to work on 10. We'll work on 2 or 3, and then come back and check the progress on that, and then, you know, set new goals for the next visit.
It's just great to know that. I think every shop wants to do better, not only just profitability-wise, but there's that genuine desire in our industry to just do good and do better in general. And you guys have a really great way of supporting someone and helping them to continue to improve themselves.
Well, and they're all competitive, and we, you know, these scorecards we have, they can see how they rank amongst all other stores in the CARSTAR nation.
That's great. You have probably one of the best backgrounds in the industry, and with all the things that you participate in, you have a good vision. So I'm not going to ask you what you're worried about for the 2011. What are you excited about for 2011 for collision repair?
Well, I think what I see coming is, you know, the good stores are going to get better, and the real risk here is if you're kind of in the middle of which way you're going to go. I think 2011 is a big year that could change this industry, because the technology that a store has to have to survive, and equipment and training with the new vehicles that's coming out, is going to take an investment on a collision repair. And if they don't have the money to invest, there's a lot of risk there. Insurance companies are going to drive more cars through less stores. So if you are performing at a high level, and you can prove that, 2011 could be one of the best years that you've ever had.
Right.
But it could be a turning point in our industry also.
I've heard from several people they're looking at it to be kind of I guess the pendulum point, to know where we're going to go from there. So
that's what I see.
Anything else going on within the CARSTAR nation?
Well, you know, the IT is a big deal, and it's one of the biggest issues I see in the industry, and it is technology. We are drowning in technology. And I was thinking about this morning when I was walking down here. If you might ask me a question, you know, what's the issues? Well, I think it's technology. I mean, if you think about our estimators today, they got to run 3 estimating systems and management system, and you know, maybe 2 or 3 parts deals, and the rental car tech, you know, software, and you almost got to be a rocket scientist to do that.
Keep up.
And then you got to know how to write an estimate on a car. So you got to have the technical background too. I think that's our biggest challenge. We need a single solution. I mean, think about it. I seen your phone a minute ago.
Yeah.
I've got Sprint. I don't know what you got.
I've got the iPhone, so I'm on AT&T.
Okay, so you're. Well, what if they didn't talk? What if you had to have Sprint for you and I to talk?
Oh wow! So 4 phones on my hip.
Yeah.
That would be.
I mean, that's a comparison to what's going on in our stores. We got to have 3. You know, if we're going to work for most insurance companies, we got to have 3 different estimating platforms.
Wow.
Well, why can't we just have one?
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is, you know, this insurance company wants this estimating system, and another one wants another one. Then one of them wants us to use Enterprise. One of them wants us to use Hertz. Let us make that decision. We're the repairer, and you know, we can produce better outcomes, better cycle time, higher quality, better customer service if we get to make them decisions.
That's a great analogy with the cell phones. I think sometimes I forget that what I did, I had one software system on the insurance side, and I forget you guys may have 3.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on what time of day I walk into the shop, what you've got to do that day.
Well, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but I mean, there was a time fax machines, certain brands wouldn't talk to each other.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
Yeah. I remember my first estimating system was the Mitchell wand. Remember
Yeah.
you had the pad, the wand? That was my first estimating
I even tested the voice one.
Ooh.
That long time ago.
That's I didn't know that. Wow. Well, I'm inspired. I think I'm gonna have to get over to the Mitchell booth and check out Solution and see how that is.
Yeah, I tell you, we are excited about our Mitchell relationship and rolling out our new technology in 2011.
Well, Dan, I appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, and I know it took a lot to get you down here today, but you always have some of the best insights. I think my takeaway from the show is, we're closing NACE today. I think my takeaway is going to be the cell phone analogy. So my next SECA meeting, I'm going to have to bring that one up.
Okay.
So.
Well, please.
I thank you so much.
Thank
Enjoy
you
the rest
very
of the
much.
show.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.